No one saw this coming. The daughter of a Hollywood legend has just stepped into the squared circle, and the WWE Universe is losing its mind. It started like any other night on Raw until the lights went out. The arena fell silent, fans holding their breath. Then, on the Titantron, a single name appeared in bold white letters: Arissa LeBrock. The crowd erupted like never before. Many didn't even know she'd been training for years in secret, mastering the art of professional wrestling while staying out of the public eye. Commentators were speechless. "That's Steven Seagal's daughter," one of them shouted. But what stunned everyone wasn't her name. It was her confidence. As the camera zoomed in, Arissa stared straight into the lens and declared, "I'm not here to play the movie star's daughter. I'm here to take over." Social media instantly caught fire. Clips of her entrance racked up millions of views within hours. Fans wrote, "She looks like a star already," while others said, "If this is real, the women's division is about to change forever." Backstage sources claimed that WWE officials had been keeping her debut a tightly guarded secret for over 6 months. Only a handful of top executives and producers knew what was coming. Even wrestlers were caught off guard. The moment Arissa stepped between the ropes, her presence filled the arena. The crowd's energy shifted. That same mix of shock and electricity that only happens when something truly special is unfolding. She didn't even wrestle that night. She just stared down the reigning champion, Rhea Ripley, with the kind of intensity that froze time. Rhea smirked, but her eyes said it all. She knew she was looking at her next major threat. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. A second-generation warrior trained by one of the most feared action icons alive was now walking into WWE's most dangerous division. And as Arissa left the ring, she said only 4 words into the microphone: "See you at Crown Jewel." The entire arena exploded. The commentators couldn't even keep up with the noise. Everyone knew. Something massive had just been set in motion. But what nobody knew was why Arissa LeBrock chose now to step into WWE, and who she had been training with behind the scenes. Because in the next chapter, we uncover how Arissa's road to WWE began, and the legendary fighter who shaped her into a silent storm. Before the glitz, before the viral headlines, Arissa LeBrock was molded in fire. Her journey didn't start in Hollywood. It began in the shadows of the dojo, under the watchful eye of her father, Steven Seagal, the martial arts master who once terrified entire movie villains with a single stare. Arissa grew up around discipline, precision, and brutal honesty. Seagal didn't treat her like a celebrity kid. He treated her like a fighter. Every morning at sunrise, Arissa trained in Aikido, learning how to use her opponent's force against them. Every evening, she studied film. Not movies, but matches. Bret Hart, Chyna, Trish Stratus, and Ronda Rousey became her silent teachers. She was obsessed with the art of combat. Friends said she would rather spar than party, and rather train than sleep. "She's not trying to be famous," one insider revealed. "She's trying to be feared." Years later, she entered MMA gyms under a fake name, taking hits, earning bruises, and never revealing who she was. By the time WWE noticed her, she wasn't just a name. She was a machine built for dominance. When she finally met with WWE officials, they were stunned. She didn't want to act, didn't want a glamorous debut. She wanted a fight. "I'm not your next diva," she reportedly said. "I'm your next problem." Fans on social media went wild when footage of her training leaked, sparring against top female fighters, dropping them with clean, precise takedowns. One clip showed her breaking a 200-pound opponent's grip like it was nothing. "She's got her father's calm, but her mother's fire," one fan wrote. Her mother, Kelly LeBrock, was a strong influence too, reminding her that charisma and presence matter as much as raw power. The combination created something rare, a balanced warrior with both heart and aura. WWE didn't just sign an athlete, they signed a headline, and when she arrived, she carried generations of strength behind her name. But one question still echoed across the locker room. Could Arissa handle the politics, pressure, and chaos of WWE's main roster? Because her first real test wasn't in the ring. It was against the entire women's locker room. The moment Arissa walked backstage, the temperature dropped. Reports say the women's division wasn't thrilled about her sudden rise. "We worked for years to get here," one veteran whispered. "She walks in with a famous name and skips the line?" But Arissa wasn't there to make friends. She was there to make history. Her first confrontation came when Bayley stepped up, laughing in her face. "Hollywood sends another one, huh?" Bayley taunted. But Arissa didn't flinch. She just stared back and replied, "You talk too much for someone who's about to be silent." That moment went viral. The clip spread across Twitter, with fans calling it the coldest line in years. Others said, "This is the attitude WWE's been missing." Behind the curtain, Arissa stayed quiet. No social media rants, no interviews, just training. Every rumor about her ego vanished once wrestlers saw her grind. She was first to arrive, last to leave. Even the trainers admitted she was unnaturally focused. Her first live segment turned explosive. Rhea Ripley interrupted her introduction, mocking her movie family and calling her a Seagal stunt double. The crowd laughed until Arissa stepped forward, face to face, and whispered something the mic didn't catch. Whatever she said, it froze Rhea cold. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. The women's division hadn't felt this kind of tension in years. It wasn't scripted drama, it was real competition. By the next week, Idekos Arissa vs. Rhea was trending globally. Fans demanded the match. WWE officials couldn't ignore it any longer. A contract signing was announced for Crown Jewel, and everyone knew this was going to be a war. But just before the event, something unexpected happened. Footage leaked from the Performance Center. Rhea and Arissa had already brawled behind closed doors. Trainers and producers had to break them apart. That clip alone got millions of views. WWE had no choice but to turn the chaos into story. "Fine," said Triple H. "Let's make it official." Next, we step inside the storm. The Crown Jewel showdown that sent shockwaves through the entire company. Saudi Arabia's lights burned bright that night, but nothing outshined the fire in Arissa LeBrock's eyes. Crown Jewel 2025. The arena packed with tens of thousands of roaring fans waiting for history. Rhea Ripley walked in first, confident, cold, championship belt gleaming. Then the lights dimmed. A single spotlight hit the ramp. The crowd erupted as Arissa LeBrock appeared, wearing a black and silver coat embroidered with her father's name in Japanese. She moved slowly, her gaze locked on Rhea. "This is it," one commentator whispered, "the movie star's daughter versus the nightmare." From the first bell, it was pure brutality. Rhea's power against Arissa's technique. Rhea taunted, but Arissa stayed calm, using precision counters and lightning-fast submissions. Every reversal drew gasps from the audience. Fans on social media went wild. "She's wrestling like she's been here for years. This isn't a debut, it's a statement." Midway through the match, Rhea tried to finish it with the riptide, but Arissa reversed it into a perfect armbar, a tribute to her father's martial arts mastery. The crowd screamed as Rhea struggled, veins bulging, refusing to tap. The moment became iconic. One frame, frozen in time, replayed across every highlight reel that night. Rhea broke free, blood in her mouth, fury in her eyes. The two traded brutal strikes, each one echoing through the arena. By the 15-minute mark, the crowd was on its feet. Then came the twist. As Arissa went for the final lock, Dominic Mysterio interfered, pulling the referee. Boos filled the stadium. But Arissa didn't hesitate. She turned and dropped Dominic with a spinning backfist that nearly tore the air apart. The crowd exploded. Even Rhea looked stunned. Arissa turned back, and Rhea hit a surprise headbutt followed by the riptide. 1, 2. Arissa kicked out. The roof nearly came off. Finally, after 20 minutes of chaos, Rhea escaped the ring with her title, leaving Arissa standing tall despite the loss. Commentators called it the best debut in modern WWE history. But while fans were chanting her name, something was happening backstage that would change everything about her future in WWE. What happened after Crown Jewel was even crazier than the match itself. Backstage, WWE officials were buzzing. Some wanted to push Arissa straight to the top. Others said she hadn't earned it yet. But the real problem came from within. Several top women weren't happy about her instant fame. Rhea, still furious, reportedly stormed into the locker room shouting, "She's not ready for my world." Others joined her, claiming WWE was giving Arissa movie star treatment. But Arissa didn't react. She just looked up from her bench and said, "Then step in the ring and prove it." That single line turned whispers into war. Within hours, rumors spread that WWE was planning an all-out faction feud. Rhea and Judgment Day versus Arissa and a team of outcasts. Social media loved it. "We're watching a revolution," fans tweeted. "Finally, a real story again." Triple H was reportedly impressed by Arissa's composure. "She's got the presence of a veteran," he told producers. "She's box office." But not everyone agreed. Some executives worried she was too intense, too real, the kind of performer who doesn't follow the script. Still, the numbers spoke for themselves. Merchandise sold out. Her entrance video broke a record for debut views. The women's division suddenly felt alive again. Then came the breaking point. A leaked video from training showed Arissa sparring with Charlotte Flair, and things got physical. Real punches, real anger. Trainers had to pull them apart. The internet exploded. "This isn't acting," one fan said. "They actually hate each other." WWE capitalized instantly, announcing a fatal four-way match for WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch versus Arissa LeBrock. The wrestling world went into overdrive. "This is the biggest women's match in history," sports sites declared. But behind the scenes, Arissa was dealing with something no one expected. A secret call from her father that would change everything about her next move. Because Steven Seagal had one final lesson for his daughter before WrestleMania. A lesson that could end her career, or make her immortal. The night before WrestleMania, Arissa received a call that would define her destiny. Steven Seagal's voice was calm, cold, and direct. "Power isn't about force," he told her. "It's about control. Don't fight their fight. Make them fight yours." Those words echoed in her mind as she stepped onto the grandest stage of them all. The arena lights blazed, the crowd deafening. Arissa's music hit, and the world erupted. "This is it," shouted the commentator. "The new era begins tonight." From the opening bell, the match was chaos. Charlotte's arrogance, Becky's cunning, Rhea's rage, and Arissa's silent focus. Every move felt personal. She wasn't just fighting opponents, she was fighting legacy, pressure, and doubt. Midway through, Charlotte tried to lock her in the figure 8, but Arissa reversed into a chokehold that nearly ended the match. Fans were screaming, commentators losing their minds. "She's doing it! She's taking out legends!" Rhea and Becky teamed up briefly to eliminate her, but she fought them off with surgical precision. One spinning elbow to Becky, one suplex to Rhea, and the crowd went wild. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. "This feels real," one tweeted, "like something's actually changing right now." As the match neared its climax, Arissa and Rhea faced off again. The sequel everyone wanted. They traded blows, exhaustion visible, pride unbroken. Rhea tried her finisher, but Arissa countered into the armbar once again. This time, there was no escape. The crowd rose to its feet. The referee dropped to check Rhea's arm. Tap, tap, tap. The bell rang. The arena exploded into pure chaos. Fireworks shot into the sky. Arissa LeBrock, the Hollywood daughter, the martial artist, the underdog, had just become WWE Women's Champion. Tears filled her eyes as she held the title high. Commentators screamed, "She did it! The era of Arissa LeBrock begins now." As the screen faded to black, one last shot showed Steven Seagal watching from the front row, nodding silently, proud but emotionless. Arissa turned to the camera, raised the belt, and whispered, "This is just the beginning." Because after WrestleMania, WWE wasn't ready for what Arissa planned next, a new alliance that could destroy everything we thought we knew about the women's division. Stay tuned.